What up, though? Gunfreaknation, what's good with it, y'all? It's something on my mind, man. I don't get why certain people just choose, for whatever reason, not to be armed. I don't get it. With how what's going on in the world and just, the crime. In my opinion, you ask me, it's at an all-time high. You know, uh, we got home invasions. We got home invasions that, you know, somebody is getting victimized every 15 seconds, man. It's a home invasion happening every 15, 20 seconds. Uh Me, you already know, I could not be without a gun. It's just too crazy out here in the world, too dangerous, man. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. But I had a conversation with somebody, and they just said they don't like guns. I'm like, that's your prerogative, that's your opinion. But brother, if a home invasion, happened to you, how are you going to be able to defend yourself? Well, he was like, well, I got my bat, I got a machete, I got a bat, and I got these. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I I just couldn't believe it that, but it's a lot of people that think that way. A lot of people, well, I mind my own business, stay to myself. None of that stuff really matters nowadays. None. You know, uh since I've been doing, this channel, the 2A, anti-home invasion channel, if that's what you want to call it, I get a lot of, over the years, a lot of emails where I get happy emails from people that, yo, T, because of you, I decided to go and purchase my first firearm. You feel me? Um, then I get the dreadful ones. T, you was right. You know, um, a home invasion happened to me and I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. And now I'm all messed up now. I'm all jacked up. I'm going through all this stress and this trauma and mentally we don't know if we're gonna make it as a couple now because of what happened. It's so much uh evil that takes place during these home invasions. People cannot they just can't imagine themselves going through that type of situation, man. But I'm telling you, you need to be armed. You need to be armed at all times, and you need to be mentally prepared. And when I say mentally prepared, you may have to pull that, drop that, pull the trigger on a funky ass savage. You just may have to do that. Man, I'm telling y'all, listen. I never had to delete or unalive anybody. Now, I hope I never have to. But I'm going to get you before you get me. And you have to, it's different levels to this. Buying a gun is not going to make you immune to the violence that's happening, all over the country, all over the world right now. It's not going to make you immune to being a target, is what I'm trying to say. It's not going to make you immune. But what it will do is make it to where it gives you that chance to fight back against that savage, against those home invaders. They want to come in and terrorize you. They want to come in and do horrible things to you. They just want to come over, come in and just have total dominance over you and your loved ones. That could be your family. That could be your wife. You wouldn't want that. Somebody just coming in and, they got you at gunpoint and they roughing you up, beating you down, and they want to have their way with your woman and with your possibility they may do something to your kids. Come on, man. That's just for those reasons alone. You should want to go out there and be armed. But some people at the end of the day, they just not going to get it, man, until it's too late. And let's just be honest, Gun Freak Nation, some people just ain't built for this. Some people they just want to be a victim. They just believe in just using their phone and letting the police, trying to make it their responsibility. But it's not the police job or responsibility to protect you and your family. It's not their job. It's not, and I feel so bad for you, because I'm not trying to make you feel like I'm blaming you if it happens to you, because it's not your fault. Nobody wants to be a victim. But what I'm telling you is, you should not want to be a future victim. All right? You should not want to be on a future cover of a obituary. So many people have been, tormented, tortured, and unalived at the hands of evil, sadistic, sick savages. And you just never know when you are going to cross paths with one of them, and you need to be ready. We are living in a wicked world. This system was designed by the devil. God's children, man, God gave us a brain for a reason, right? Wisdom. You cannot depend on no Bible. You cannot depend on no policeman. You cannot depend on your neighbor. You cannot depend on nobody to come to your aid, to come to your defense, to fight for you. You got to man up or woman up and be ready to do that yourself. You got to be ready to be your own first responder, Be your own first responder. I just feel bad for the people that don't listen and they end up being victims, or, like I said, a lot of people, if you make it through a home invasion and you still alive, then that's a blessing in itself. But I promise you, you would never, ever, ever, ever be the same. I'm talking about an event where you are in the comfort of your own home. You're supposed to have peace where you live. Where you lay your head, that should be your peace. But not in this wicked world. And you need to be ready. Home invasions happen to people that own guns. And if you don't know how to utilize them and, just utilize them the proper way, you can still be got. Guess what? Home invasion happened to somebody, reached out to me. They had firearms. They couldn't get to them in time because the majority of them were locked up. And I think he kept one upstairs in his bedroom, like in the closet shelf or something. He couldn't get to that in time. That's the most horrible feeling in the world of just feeling helpless, and nobody is there to protect you. No one is there to defend you, and you just got to deal with it and pray to God that they don't take your life. But I will say this, a lot of these criminals, these savages, these demons, they don't like to leave, witnesses. I've seen cases where people have been unalived and they burn the house down to get rid of evidence, and it's a horrible, horrible thing. This world, man, is you have to wake up and realize and open your eyes and see it for what it really is. It's a wicked world. And I'm not trying to fearmonger or scare anybody, but it's just evil, sick people out there, man. They're predators. They're savages. And they don't have no regards for human life. I can name off so many, factual home invasion stories, but we would be here all night and all day. So if you're watching this and you don't have a firearm, ask yourself, why? What's holding you back? What's keeping you back from, putting yourself in the fight? Allowing yourself to be able to defend your life. Because I'm not talking about property. Who cares about that? You can get that. That's horrible too. But I'm talking about defending your life, your family's life and well-being. You got to change that mindset of thinking that this phone, 911 will save your life, man. Because it's like this, once they breach entry into your home, seconds matter. They can unalive you in mere seconds. Okay? They can unalive you. It take police minutes to arrive when seconds matter. And sometimes it happens so fast you don't even get a chance to, call 911. And don't let them have cell phone jammers. These criminals have gotten clever nowadays. They tactical. They have, they breaking in, breaching your window or your back door, front door. In some cases, it's in the broad daylight. It's like they just don't care. And you need to be ready. You need to care. You need to care. You don't want to be on the other side. You don't want to be a statistic, You don't want to have to look your wife or girlfriend in her eyes and see the pain and, the torture that she had to endure because you wasn't man enough to defend her, to fight for her. Ain't no bat, no knife, no taser, no mace, whatever. No stun gun, no hammer. None of that is going to stand a chance against multiple armed invaders, savages that is breaking up in your house. And once they make entry and they are inside, what are you going to do? Ask yourself this. Close your eyes. Picture you hear a loud banging noise of your door being kicked in or your window being kicked in, smashed out. What are you going to do? and you don't have a firearm. Ask yourself that. Close your eyes and just imagine that. Imagine the adrenaline and the fear that is pumping. Your heart is pumping, really, really fast, and you just panicking, and you got your children, your family, your wife. What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna go straight for your phones and try to hide, right? You shouldn't have to do that. You should have a firearm that's easily accessible to you, and you put that threat down. You send that savage to Funky Town. Anyway, Gun Freak Nation, I would love to hear. I would love to hear you say that you are savage ready and that you got what it takes to put that savage down. I would love to hear what you're working with. And for those who are watching that are not prepared, that are not armed, I don't know what to tell you. God bless your soul. But God also gave you wisdom. In the Bible would say, sell your cloak and buy a sword. But you need to do what you need to do to protect yourself. But anyway, Gun Freak Nation, listen, y'all stay armed, stay responsible with your firearms, stay righteous, and you send that dirty, demonic savage to Funky Town. I love you, Gun Freak Nation. Salute, baby.